When the ruler of the Italian city-state of Ferrara, Leonello d'Este, had this portrait of himself painted in the early 1440s, the genre of portraiture was still fairly new. While many ancient Greeks and Romans had their features recorded in portraits, in Europe this practice had largely disappeared until the early 1400s. Most of these early portraits, like this one here, were of the rich and powerful. As ruler of a city-state, or a city in its surrounding territory, Leonello was meant to look regal and dignified. And as befits his leonine name, his mane-like hairstyle reminds us of a lion. A painted portrait like this was easily portable. It could be moved around or sent to distant lands to act as stand-in for the person depicted. But there was another kind of portrait emerging at this time that was even smaller and more portable: the portrait medal. The artist Pisanello, who painted Leonello, is thought to be the one who invented this new type of image. So, what is a portrait medal? Like a coin, a portrait medal is a small, round, two-sided object. On the front, or obverse, medals usually depict someone's face and shoulders in profile. Here we see Leonello, with his recognizable facial features and trademark hairstyle. The Latin inscription surrounding his portrait identifies Leonello as Marquis of Ferrara and Lord of Ferrara and the neighboring cities of Reggio and Modena. Medals were often commissioned by rulers and other wealthy patrons in order to commemorate significant events. This medal celebrates Leonello's marriage in 1444 to Maria of Aragon, daughter of Alfonso the Magnanimous, who ruled as king in both Spanish Aragon and Naples in southern Italy. This was a big deal for Leonello, who ruled over a small principality in northern Italy. The prominent letters at the top of the obverse are an abbreviation of the Latin phrase Gener Regis Argonum, which proudly advertises that he is the son-in-law of a king. As in most portrait medals, the back, or reverse of Leonello's medal, includes symbols that tell us more about him. Here, a lion, remember Leonello's lion-like hair, is taught to sing by Cupid. The message? The newly married Leonello d'Este is tamed by love. The eagle who sits on a rocky outcropping was a symbol associated with both Leonello's family and that of his new bride, while the sail shown on the pillar was another emblem of Leonello's family. We also have Latin text identifying the artist, Pisanello, a favorite of Leonello. These portraits were often made of bronze, though sometimes they were cast in gold or silver, and could be easily reproduced in multiples. This enabled patrons, like Leonello, to give copies to other important people. These could be diplomatic gifts or reminders of a ruler's power. To be clear, portrait medals were intentionally similar to ancient coins, but they were quite different from coinage. Medals could be commissioned by anyone with the influence and wealth to afford them, whereas coins were produced by governing bodies and were used as currency. Unlike coins, portrait medals were not used to buy things, and they were not standardized by size or weight. Leonello's medal is pretty standard at about 4 inches in diameter, but they can vary significantly in size. Just like many of the people they portray, portrait medals were powerful in their own way. Easy to carry, easy to share, and full of meaning.